All right, everybody, welcome to episode 36, the 1 year anniversary party episode of Joystick Maverick. As always, we are brought to you by Tough Wraps. I actually got to talk to AJ either tomorrow, today, or the next day after the show here to just kind of touch base, see how he's doing. Evidently, things are going well with our sponsorship. We haven't done anything too terrible in the middle of these promos to actually warrant any kind of like cancellation, so that's good news.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I was totally like, man, I've been off the rails. You must not watch the show, but I want to call him out for it, because since we only have like 3 viewers anyways. But this is going to be a kind of a fun episode. It's not as organized or like episodic as our episodes go. Usually we have these same exact segments, things like that. This one's going to be more about like, hey, what's happening the past week? Let's look back in the year previous, reminisce, and then kind of do a little bit of a discussion about what's going to happen hopefully in the next year. We can do a lot of like planning. It's really about the execution. So this episode, when we look back next year, it'll be like, did we do those things? Nope. But hopefully we can make some action items and at least laugh at the things we didn't do. So as always, I'm joined by my favorite co-host, Dom Ervin, and our man in the chair. There he is with a high definition camera, not potatoes. It's him live in the flesh. Look at him.
No potatoes.
No potatoes. I'm trying to catch up on the gray in your beard, and I'm trying to get in the curliness of Dom's beard. I'm halfway there. I actually brushed it right before I came on the stream because it was just so out of control. But I think it's that time of year, right? We got to start getting the neck beards involved. Just got to get it all out there.
Well, I'm thinking about just getting rid of it.
Oh, no stash, no nothing, just straight.
I think that's a good idea.
My hair is like down to here, like I don't know if you can see it, but it's like super long. And get rid of the beard, have long hair, be a real like embrace the hippie lifestyle.
Yeah,
do the Ethan Hawke from Moon Knight look.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah.
I understand what that was, and I'm not very happy about it. We're kicking it off
what
already.
What do you mean? Ethan Hawke looks good in Moon Knight.
He looks like he's 80 in Moon Knight.
Yeah.
You look like you're 80 right now.
I'm gonna headbutt you. I'm gonna help you bleed. Hemophilia.
It'll never stop. Why won't it stop? But to be fair, he did just come off of that one like scary movie where he had to kind of look like that one known murderer. So maybe it was just a weight thing. The same way, Matthew McConaughey just looked like a cokehead in Wolf of Wall Street because he just got done Dallas Buyers Club where he lost all that weight. So it's just like, if it fits. But no, this week, start out things off with some new stories. First off, today's the big day. Halo came out in Paramount Plus. Episode 1. If you have Amazon Prime, believe it or not, you do get a little bit of Paramount Plus with that. It's kind of basically like CBS All Access. It's now Paramount Plus. So you can get that. You get Picard and all the Star Trek shows, which I'm actually watching Picard now, and I'm enjoying every minute of it because he's just so damn old. But he can do no wrong. He's Sir Patrick Stewart. But yeah, so far in the first 20 minutes or so of Halo, the way it's kind of spelling out is it's going to be like Master Chief is kind of a secondary character in this episode. Where it's not just like immediately you jump into battle. It's definitely world building, which I like that because it's pretty much a prequel, right, to the first Halo game, right? It's building up the world, the ecosystem. It's trying to build this mythos around Halo and explain what Halo is. Whereas in the game, you're just like, Halo, I get it. It's a ring in space. Got to go on the ring in space. And then you kill bad guys, right? That's every game. And I was trying to like explain what it was to Michelle earlier, and then I remembered the latest season of Book of Boba Fett where Mando was on a Halo ring, and just how ridiculous that was. So it's if you haven't played Halo, but you've seen the Book of Boba Fett, you pretty much know what a Halo ring is already. So,
do we know where that show falls in the timeline? Because I heard. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I heard that it has nothing to do with the games.
Yeah,
other than conceptually, with Master Chief and Spartans and stuff like that.
So it's not canon at all, or just like
no,
that's gross.
Yeah, so like,
why?
What's the point?
Yeah. Why? I mean, I know they're gonna have. They already got the Covenant. Like the first spoiler alert in the trailer is the Covenant, and then the bug infestation thing from Halo 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Right. That's already been featured in the trailer. So at least it's loosely based on the universe. Highly based, but not in the storyline. But next up, I don't know if you guys had the chance today to actually do the riddles from Rata Alada. They were pretty poignant. It's if you're already going knowing that it's a Joker clip that you're going to see, spoiler alert, no banner, but 3, 2, 1, spoiler alert. If you don't know that already, then you're kind of going to be a little bit confused. But if you do know, then at least you get to kind of point your questions in that direction. One is like this, it's not a joke, but if you say it twice out loud, you really mean it. And it's the word ha, 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 right? The next one is something about a punchline. And then, of course, to wit, this card is always a little wild, and it's Joker, right? So then you get your clip of the Joker, which is actually pretty great. Do you guys have a chance to watch it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually pretty pumped for the treatment.
I was really not into the Joker stuff in the movie.
Correct.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I saw this, and I was like, all right, this fucks. I'm in. This is good. I like Barry Keoghan a lot.
For like graphic comparison, his nose in the movie from that silhouette was like this big.
Yeah.
It was the size of a Coke can. And then in this like clip, I'm like, okay, this is much more reasonable. I just had a big nose, and now it's eviscerated by acid nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's acid or burn. And I kind of hope they go down the route that Batman created the Joker.
I would like that. I would like that a lot.
Where in that first interaction, there was something that happened to cause this guy to become this legend, right? Like
right.
Something happened, an accident, fell into the vat of acid, got burned, but Batman actually creates the Joker in this world, which would be
that's essentially what happened in the Tim Burton Batman, right? Where Joker is just a gangster, and then he gets knocked into a vat of acid by Batman. Like it's
Jack Napier.
Yes, exactly.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
I love the clip. I'm enjoying the continue. We talked about this before the movie even came out. How when movies or like the marketing team involves something that's kind of clever before a film comes out, I really enjoy it. Jason Bourne, the Bourne Identity, like movies part 2 and 3. They had something similar to that. You had to actually know like Linux and Unix to actually use a terminal to try to figure out a file system to figure out the location, that kind of stuff. This is kind of similar to that. You at least get to use your brain. And I was really happy to like Google search if people have put the answers out there yet. And like the top 4 results for one of them was wrong. Like somebody was out there just putting out the wrong answer to fuck with people. And I'm all about it. So I appreciate that whoever's been doing that. Keep it up. Next up, Misha Collins is cast as Harvey Dent in the CW's Gotham Knights.
This is how you get me to watch a show.
Yeah.
This is how you get me to watch the show. I mean,
I knew the game was coming out. I didn't know there was going to be a show.
Yeah, I didn't either. Can somebody explain this to me? Like, what is this a show based on the same concept as the game?
I think so.
I mean, that's
my question. CW Batman spin-off Gotham Knights cast its lead stars. Thanks to Matt Reeves' Batman, The Dark Knight is front and center again. Audiences are in DC state of mind, and many are glowing after their experiences. So I guess this is more going to be consistent with like the era of the Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Superman and Lois, that kind of stuff. I'm
so essentially one step up above Riverdale.
Right, and it's gonna follow only one of the prodigies of Batman. It doesn't really say Hugh just yet. But that to me is interesting, especially the name and the timing for that. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this show, Birds of Prey, back on like CW back in the day. I think it was CW or WB before it was CW.
Yep.
It had Oracle in the wheelchair. It had the whole 9. It was a great show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. So now I'm kind of hoping something
similar. What show?
Here.
Birds of Prey.
Like the old one?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It had Oracle. It had Huntress. Shit, who else did that?
Okay.
Somebody else. But yeah,
I don't. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think I know what you're
ooh.
talking. Yes. Yeah.
It was
think it's-
very much a product of its time. Like if you go back and watch it, you're like, this is
Yeah.
definitely a late 90s, early
Love it.
2000s.
Like
Yeah.
it's like in the same like time frame as like Alias and shit, right? When that came out.
and Buffy and
Yeah, kind of, but those were
Smallville
way above in quality from this show. The show was
for sure.
almost like a soap opera for nerds. Like not story wise, but like production quality wise. Like it wasn't a great quality show, but I remember it fondly.
I mean, I definitely watched most of it, and I hold it a near and dear place in my heart because I was so young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't have to spell it out too much there, but yeah, I'm glad Misha Collins, of course, Supernatural. His character started out as like was supposed to be like a 5-episode one-off, and suddenly he made it to the end of the show. Like,
Yep, he's great.
awesome. Keep doing it. But if you bring that same kind of fervor to this show, it's bound to be good. Next up, Hugh Grant is in talks to play the Doctor in Doctor Who in a Marvel reboot. That's what I said. My response, I think, was why? Like, the point of Doctor Who is to be campy. It doesn't need a Marvel level makeover.
I was just about who cares about Doctor Who, but
I care. Damn you. And the showrunner who's returning, Russell T Davies, was actually the guy who brought it back from nothingness in the early 2000s when I started watching it. So I'm excited about that. However, I don't know if Hugh Grant. I mean,
I think. I think that the appeal of the Doctor normally is that it's somebody who has some solid work, but isn't like an elevated superstar. And I think Hugh Grant, whether you like him or not, is a superstar. Like,
yeah.
He's a household name. When David Tennant was the Doctor, I mean, he was not a household name at the time. That was made him a household name. Matt Smith wasn't a household name. Now Peter Capaldi is a different story, but he's not. Right. I don't think he's near as famous as Hugh Grant.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yep, same thing. He was one of my favorites.
Is that not his fucking name?
I think it's Eccleston. I don't think there's a Stein at the end of his name.
I don't watch Doctor Who.
But do you watch Heroes? Did you watch Heroes season 1? Because he was in that.
He was
the Invisible Man.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That, by the way,
Heroes
I love that
so
season just
ago.
because of all the like nods to things. Doctor Who, Claude Rains was the original Invisible Man named character, or like the license plate on the limousine that God damn it. The guy who could jump through time, his father was played by Sulu, and the license plate was NCC 1701 for Enterprise. So like little nods like that. Yeah, that's it. Oh my. But yeah, so again, why do it? But if you got money, put it wherever you want.
I think it's funny that Russell T Davies is coming back because by the end of his run, people were kind of tuned out.
Yeah.
Of Doctor Who. And who took over for him again? What was the guy's name?
Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat. People like I think wrote Blink, right? Like, which is the most famous Doctor Who episode there is.
It's the one I tell everybody to watch it. It'll get you hooked.
So people were super stoked to have him become the showrunner, and now people are kind of over it, and they're bringing Russell T Davies back. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I would love that to be a leapfrog for the next 30 years. Just people like they just keep doing that back and forth. Somebody gets a break and they have it like a little bit of a life, and they come up with new stories. Yeah, and they come back for more. Next up is a show you guys don't watch.
So here's real quick. Are they gonna, if they're gonna do the Marvel remake of the Doctor Who, are they gonna fix the special effects? Because I might watch it at that point.
I mean,
it's kind of what makes that show.
Is it real? Like y'all are some. I know y'all love some Doctor Who.
It's what makes that show unique. I'll say. I'm not saying it makes the show good. It's what makes it Doctor Who. Like, what was the face? The face of Bo?
Yeah.
Terrible, but awesome. But the storyline for the face of Bo is incredible.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The payoff for that story. Yep.
Hell yeah. But no, I hope they do it justice. If it's just Hugh Grant chewing the fat for an hour, I'll still watch it. I'm not going to miss the storyline, but like I'm not going to enjoy it. Next up is Raised by Wolves season 2 finale hit this past week. That show is fucking bonkers, man. Like I know you guys haven't watched it, or maybe you watched a little bit, or maybe didn't, and maybe got bored with it. Fuck, that show's fucking weird. At this point, if you think something shouldn't work, or you think a creature shouldn't be able to do a certain thing, like eat a tree, and then cause it to evolve into a more dangerous creature, it happens anyways.
What in the Elden Ring acid trip bullshit is this?
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, the first season you watch it, and you're like, oh, it's a bunch of religious zealots. Second season, things are off the rails. You got creatures coming out of acid oceans. You got a baby being born. One of those creatures coming up, snatching the baby, putting it inside of their belly through an open mouth, like basically internal mouth in their stomach, to protect it from the acid ocean. Bizarre, bro. Bizarre.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's written by Kojima.
Basically.
What it sounds like. It sounds like Death Stranding, the TV show.
Yeah.
It's one tentacle sex situation away from being hentai, and I'm just like, oh my god. But yeah.
Where can I watch this?
HBO Max. It's crazy. Tekken Bloodline is coming to Netflix. I don't know.
I guess when are we gonna get the fucking Devil May Cry show done by the same people who did Castlevania? Like
it's like baby steps, right? Like we get Castlevania, we should be happy and high-fiving about it, and then we get Tekken, we should like. The problem is if Tekken like gets only about half as good as Castlevania.
Do you remember the Tekken live action movie?
No.
Yeah, it was bad.
I would love to see Devil May Cry, but the people who did the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie, or Constantine, because that was Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That wouldn't be terrible, actually.
That would be incredible, I think.
Yeah. I just love that Keanu Reeves really wants to come back and play that character.
He should.
And has said that shit, and is like, they're like, what's one character that you want to come back? And he's like, dude, I just want to play Constantine again.
Yeah. I think there's room for him in the universe. I'm okay with it. Yep. It's not the character. It's not Matt. What's the guy's name? Matt Ryan. The blonde British guy.
Right. Yep.
But at the same time, there's room for both. We've got a Batfleck, we've got a Robinson, we've got room for everybody. Next up is Riddler Year One.
Robert Pattinson can act his fucking ass off, dude. God damn, he can. I keep thinking about it. Like you see him in Harry Potter, and you're like, man. Then you see him in Twilight, and you're like, man, you can't act. And then you see him in everything else that he has done,
everything else,
and you're like, fuck, that guy can act. He's like the opposite of Kristen Stewart. Like Kristen Stewart did a bunch of bullshit movies after that.
One
and then apparently destroyed in Diana, killed that movie. It was so good apparently, but yeah, Rob Pattinson can act.
One other shout out, Kristen Stewart. Shout out her because what was another one she did recently? Underwater. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, it was like Alien.
Yeah,
or
like
Sphere.
Abyss, right?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was sweet.
it was awesome. She did a great job of that one too. Of course, she had a bunch of support actors that were just ridiculous. But yeah, any Year One books that come out, Superman Year One, Batman Year One, I'm always up for it. Riddler Year One, and I like it specifically because from the perspective of the Paul Dano Riddler.
I think Paul Dano is writing it.
No shit.
Yeah, he is.
You may want to double check that.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure he is
writing it. Yeah.
Talk about committing to the role.
People were really upset about this announcement too, by the way.
Why?
Because it's the fact that everybody made it a big deal that Paul Dano's writing a comic book, and they're like, who the fuck is the artist?
Well, have they assigned an artist yet?
They do have an artist, and I don't know who it is.
Well, I wouldn't tell anybody who it is either. They're all just bitching online. Like, let that die down for a minute.
Yeah, I really feel like
people get mad to get mad.
I think it's a situation where if there was a headline that said an amazing cat swam across the English Channel, people would say, but what about all the fish? A comic book artist is a comic book artist, and they're amazing. Paul Dano's not a comic book writer. This is him pushing the boundaries of what he can do. And that's,
right.
I think, the appeal here.
And I love the fact that even in interviews, he's already calling out a lot of contemporary Batman storylines, like the Court of Owls and things like that. So he's not just like,
he's done his homework.
I think I know what I'm talking about. He's at least doing research.
Him and Rob Pattinson both did that. Like, I mean, they were both talking about Court of Owls and shit. And I was like, all right, I dig that. Ask Ben Affleck what his favorite Batman story is, and he'll say Batman and Robin with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love the Schumacher run.
It might be the cynic in me, but when actors bring up storylines, like specific storylines, I always wonder if they've actually read those storylines or whether that's just the thing that people told them is like the main storyline for their character. Like when Elizabeth Olsen brings up House of M, she brings it up a lot. Has she read House of M, or is that like people feeding her information? You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, it's just hard for me to believe that Elizabeth Olsen, who's incredible, has reads
when Henry Cavill brings up the fact that he's read every single Witcher book, all of the Warcraft books, and paints Warhammers, you don't really test his nerd. Yeah, you just appreciate the fact that is the human specimen.
Well, yeah. Well, with Cavill, it's a little different too, because he's made it well known that he almost missed a Superman call because he was playing Warcraft.
What was he? I mean, what time? What would he have been rating at that time?
Was it Legion?
When Man of Steel came out? I don't think it was Legion.
It would have been the year before Man of Steel came out.
So Pandaria?
It maybe could have been Siege of Orgrimmar. We could have been rating at the same time Henry Cavill was.
We probably were rating at the same time.
Be great. We didn't even notice it come up in chat. Sorry, guys. I got to drop for a call. But no, of course, Henry Cavill. I mean, that guy, I think it was one of you that shared it with me, or I shared it with you. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Him being on the Graham Norton show and Graham Norton trying to like take stabs at him about Warhammer. And he was like,
listen, bitch.
They were like trying to call him out like for being kind of a dick about that kind of stuff on set. And he's like, well, I wouldn't say that I was rude, but I just like to be true to the content, right? Like I just fucking quoted at you because I memorize it all.
Right.
But I say it's the stand up for them, but just like, you're just an idiot. Shit's great. But I digress. We'll stop swooning over Henry Cavill for the next person.
Why?
My entire life has been old. Since I've been born, Christopher Lloyd has been old.
Well, he's 150 years old.
He will never not be Doc Brown, and Doc Brown was old.
Right.
And then he was Uncle Fester, somehow younger than Doc Brown.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what kind of juices he was on at the time, but it was working. But now he's been cast in Mandalorian season 3, and I gotta pontificate. There's a bunch of like everybody throws their ideas. What's he gonna do? He's either gonna be a dickhead, some kind of like magistrate. He's got to be at least maybe a droid voice, or I'm hoping the voice of Grogu.
Maybe Snoke version 1.
Oh shit, that would be wild. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything without him being like over the top, just the way his voice sounds.
I gotta say that I love that they're hiring comedians, but they are completely underutilizing them. Matt Berry as the droid in Boba Fett.
That was perfect, though. Because for people who know Matt Berry, you hear that voice and you're like,
Father!
Father!
Fire the nuclear weapons.
I mean, I didn't even realize it was him until somebody like screamed from the rooftops, and I'm like, "Holy shit!"
And then you can't unhear it.
Yeah, and then every time they're outside, man, I'm like, "Oh shit!" Tell me more about Renham Industries,
That clip
why don't you?
From What We Do in the Shadows has been in my like feed on everything where he's like, I don't give a fuck. His name is Mike.
Yes. I will not tell you who threw on this horrible abomination of a party. I don't give a shit. It's fucking Mike. Fuck him. Yes, fuck you, Mike.
But through the history of those shows, you've had
Bill Burr,
Richard Iwati. No, Bill Burr was an actual actor. Richard Iwati was the assassin droid in season 1 of The Mandalorian.
It's just the who's the guy that plays Roy? He's going to be the next droid in the next season.
Oh man, if Roy gets in there or like Moss, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like
Richard Iwati was Moss.
Oh my god, this is his real name.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
What is Roy's real name before I forget it? Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd. Oh,
That's it.
All right,
I'm back on.
He's doing anything.
Yeah. Actually, he's been in a couple of random shit lately. Like
Recently?
Get Shorty, a bunch of like just random one-off things on like Hulu.
The last thing I saw him in was Bridesmaids.
No, he's been in stuff since then.
Okay.
But,
speaking of Bridesmaids, Kristen Wiig.
Very good.
That's the statement.
There you go.
Speaking of Bridesmaids, Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph. You mean Kamala Harris?
It's pronounced Kamala. No.
That's my favorite part of the Miss Marvel.
Yes, exactly.
That they're like Kamala, and it's like, no, it's Kamala.
It's Kamala. All right. Use password.
Who's excited for Moon Knight?
Oh man, Moon Knight is getting rave reviews.
Moon Knight's getting rave reviews. Halo is getting fucking shit on.
I'm sure.
Which doesn't surprise me. The first thing that I've seen was they couldn't even wait one fucking episode to show Pablo Schreier's face as the Master Chief. But yeah, dude, the more I see of Moon Knight, honestly, I just want this marketing campaign to keep going on because
they are marketing the crap out of it.
I get Oscar Isaac everywhere now, and I could look at him all day.
Did you see the clip of him seeing the kid on the red carpet in the Moon Knight costume?
Right.
He's like, this is, and like he was like completely down to earth and just awesome.
And also looked like the whole snack aisle. Yeah, absolutely. And that camel skin coat. Yeah.
And looking like a whole snack aisle.
Camel skin coat. But did you see the waiting room video? Where the three leads of that show are just in a waiting room, and they have to be in a waiting room until the show premieres because they can't talk to anybody about the show.
No,
it's wonderful.
I bet it's awesome.
I'll share it later.
Yeah, so share it. His friendship with Pedro Pascal is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love both of them. I think they are both my favorite actors at this point. I want Pedro Pascal to play Richard Rider in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we didn't put it in the show because I think it just got announced today, but they did announce a Nova project today.
Yep.
People are all about trying to get Andy Samberg in there to play.
Just have him replace Chris Pratt. Who did we say last week that they should replace Chris Pratt? That's a lot of R's in one word, so I'm having trouble with it.
In which thing?
We were talking about something. No, it's specifically in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Was
it Mads Mikkelsen? We were just saying
no, it wasn't Mads Mikkelsen. it was like a comedic actor. We were like, just have him replace. Oh, it was who tried out for The Office, not Office, for Parks and Rec, for his character and didn't get it. Somebody. I was just like, he should just replace Chris Pratt.
We all know Star Wars is going to die in the next movie anyway.
Right.
Chris Pratt has gotten so much flack over the last 4 or 5 years that he probably wants to be out of it. He's probably done.
Hopefully, we can only cross our fingers on that one, right?
I think a lot of characters are going to die in the next Guardians movie.
I think you're right. James Gunn's already kind of alluded to it, but I wanted to moving right along. I want to kind of get to our looking back on last year. Number one being episode 1. We've come a long way. Even just right now, I look older. My eyes have color, unlike these dead ones here on the screen. Dominic, your hair looks amazing as always. You've got the clear glasses now. Our offices are slightly different. I'm not putting a laptop on top of a plastic shelving unit to hopefully get a better angle. Like, oh, look, I'm a nerd. You can see Stormbreaker and Hulk. We've just kind of broken things down into a basic format, and it's no longer just a bland black color. We had no keynote, no slides, and nothing to show notes this first episode. We talked about anything and everything. I look back at the conversation we had about it before it even came out. There was no segments. It was just kind of a word vomit of what we wanted to talk about and just really weird transitions. I remember high-fiving for just trying to get, that one sentence had the same word as the next subject, and being really proud about that transition. Even now, my transitions aren't great, but at least there's a little picture to go with it on the next screen. But I'm very proud of where we come from. Here we are, episode 36, 35 episodes later. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing okay.
We definitely look older, which is unfortunate because it was only a year ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna chalk it up to the lighting.
I'm gonna chalk it up to the pandemic and yeah.
And the heavy drinking.
That too.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we had our couple of hiatuses, vacations. Some people got married.
Some people got hospitalized.
Not so great. I did go to the doctor today. Had a checkup. Guess what? I'm back to fighting weight. Those 40 pounds I lost because of being in the hospital, I got them back in all the wrong places. So now it's time for me to get back into the gym.
In that ass, right?
You know what I mean? Now that the numbers are down, I'm at least somewhat more cool with going to the gym. I always try to pick a off-peak hour to be there, so there's only 10 people for the 500 spaces anyways. And I don't make eye contact, which is how you catch COVID anyway. So that's just facts. That's just facts. But I did want to kind of talk about some of the things we talked about throughout the year. I've got a couple of subjects kind of rapid fire lined up. The first one being the Marvel things that came out the past calendar year, right?
Yeah.
We had Loki, we had the Winter Soldier and Falcon. Obviously, WandaVision came out. We had,
Black Widow,
ShangChi,
Eternals, Spider-Man.
So much.
There's a lot of Marvel shit that came out last year. What if?
Yeah, thank goodness it poo-pooed content, and we were able to just try to keep up with the hype. Even if you count Morbius, fuzzy wazzy woozy, but
again, just replace Jared Leto with Florence Pugh and everything.
Would you rather Chris Pratt or Jared Leto in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. And the answer, so I looked it up. It's Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson interviewed for Andy Dwyer on Parks and Rec, and I was like, yeah, I would much rather have Jake Johnson as Star-Lord.
That's Nick from New Girl, right?
Jake Johnson. It's Peter B. Parker. Yeah,
Peter B. Parker.
That's right.
Yeah. I would love to see him show up as a Spider-Man, actually show up as Peter B. Parker and something.
I just want him in everything. Funny. He's so damn funny.
He's so good.
I even enjoyed him in The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
He was in that. I didn't watch that.
Yeah, so he's his best friend, and in the beginning of the movie, gets murked. But for the rest of the movie, while the Mummy is trying to attack Tom Cruise, he keeps seeing a slowly decomposing Jake Johnson.
Nice. He's also in Jurassic Park.
Just pops up out of nowhere. Oh yeah, he's in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, right?
Jurassic World, yeah.
He was one of the IT guys, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he had the old shirt on.
Awesome. He had the bug and stuff, and she was throw it away.
Throw that shit away.
What
was your guys' favorite Marvel thing that came out last year?
Spider-Man. I don't want to be that guy, but it was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Non-movie for me was Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Hawkeye as much as the next person. Falcon, Winter Soldier. We talked about that to death. But Loki was like still fantastical, had nothing to do with any real world problems, and it was just like basically an entire show that was designed to piss off the god of mischief. Like, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just because he's constantly on the other end, and finally watching him receive it for a little while was tits up. It was great.
And to add to that, Kang was the big bad, and it was the actual splintering of the multiverse. So like,
right,
high stakes, way higher than at least what we know of in WandaVision. I think Doctor Strange might recontextualize WandaVision for us.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got What If in there too. I mean, that's currently cartoon, but now we know it's canon. So
yeah,
awesome.
So, Mike, your favorite movie was Spider-Man: No Way Home. What was your favorite non-movie?
I really loved WandaVision up until the boner joke. I thought they were doing it, man. I thought they were going for it, and then they pulled back at the last second. I was like, and Catherine Hahn was incredible.
Yeah,
as Agatha. I think
Agatha Harkness.
Yeah, you can't beat the quality of Loki. Loki was incredible. Sylvie was a great antagonist. The reveal that the council was, what were they called?
The TVA.
Yeah, I know it's the TVA, but the
tribunal.
Time Lords are Doctor Who.
I know.
Dumb. We've got him.
Daleks. That's who they are, right?
The Daleks, the Cybermen.
It's not the three-headed tribunal. That's one being with three heads, right?
It doesn't matter. The reveal that they were robots, wonderful. Yeah, and when they killed Loki, they really went for it and nailed it.
So what was your favorite movie, Ernie? So you said Loki, and then what was your favorite movie?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if people hate me for it. I fucking love ShangChi.
I love
ShangChi. It's incredible.
That's my favorite one. That's so literally my favorite one. I love Spider-Man: No Way Home. I loved all the movies that came out.
I bought
is the best one.
The minute it was available to buy on iTunes, I bought No Way Home. Same thing for ShangChi. But ShangChi just hits my era for me so much harder, right? It's the same. Our music, it's basically our people our age kind of got their shit together, kind of don't, but they're just going with it. And then they're thrust into some extraordinary situations and shit happens. Specifically Awkwafina in that movie is, I think,
great.
He was the audience character. The same way Huey was the audience character in the show Lost. He would always ask the questions that the audience was like, what the fuck? She was the audience for us.
Simu Liu is incredible. Yeah, I just love that he's just a regular ass dude now. Like that, it's just trying to be like, I watch YouTube stuff that he just shows up in because he's like friends with these guys, and I'm like, dude, you are literally an Avenger now.
He's just that dude. He's a journeyman, man. He's literally an Avenger, and he's just like, what's up?
That was good. Yeah, Shang-Chi is my favorite.
Eternal was flat for me. Hawkeye was okay. Hawkeye was good because it stuck. Not only did it stick to the storyline, or at least the content of what is his name?
Matt Fraction's book.
Thank you, Matt Fraction. But it also kind of gave us another nod of like, yep, Daredevil is canon.
Yep,
and ain't nothing you can do about it.
At least the characters are canon. We don't know if the story was because they're talking about that reboot.
Yeah,
Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld's interactions in that show made that show absolutely. Hello.
Oh, hello. Mac and cheese is really good.
Are you done? I can add hot sauce.
That's just wonderful. But I did actually. I really like the. And I'm not realizing I'm contradicting myself 10 minutes later, but the back and forth or the relationship, good buddy cop relationship between Falcon and Winter Soldier was great. one battling PTSD, one battling the fact that the Avengers don't get paid, and the truth of he was out there just doing it because he's a good dude. Like that to me really earned the shield for me in my eyes as far as that character is concerned. Same way with just like his quickness to be like, if if you were offered the serum, would you take it? And he's like, no, because he's thought about it. Like, what if I just stuck Captain with a needle and just drank that blood real quick? Would I turn into a super soldier? He's thought about it, but to him not need to do that is huge. It just shows how much he's as a character in his own right.
Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie have really great chemistry on screen.
Yeah, they have it off screen too. I don't know if
they're so fucking
each other, or they're just like
no, they love each other. They hate Tom Holland.
They hate Tom Holland. It's so great. Even now, that joke still hits because I think Sebastian Stan was interviewed during the Spider-Man No Way Home stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't really like to go see movies that Tom is in."
Like, wasn't he in Civil War? Like, yeah, I didn't watch that either.
When it comes to Falcon and Winter Soldier, though, I like the Isaiah Bradley introduction.
Yes.
That whole storyline that talked about how essentially racist everybody is.
America, and then
and it just they went for it too. That show suffered from the pandemic because they obviously had to rewrite and re-edit stuff to make something out of to cut out the pandemic part of that show that was supposed to be kind of the through line for that, and they had to write around it or edit around it, and it kind of worked but kind of didn't. So
no, but to your point, it's kind of the next thing for next year. I'm really excited about is this potential for the Young Avengers, with the death of General Ross, last week. I'm curious where the Dark Avengers is going to go. That's the name of the Thunderbolts in general.
Thunderbolts,
I think I think they're still going to move forward because you have Valentina, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character is the one that's actually pulling all of them together. So I mean,
Contessa.
Yeah. So I think that
really broke his brain.
With that. You did break my brain. Also, Julia Louis-Dreyfus broke my brain. So she's aged like fine wine. But no, she swears like a sailor too in Veep, and it's awesome.
I can't wait for her. I can't wait for her to do that in this. It's obviously the PG universe, except for the Netflix stuff right now. But I'm excited for that. US Agent. I actually really enjoy Wyatt Russell.
I do too.
He's been fantastic in everything he's been doing lately, even the stuff on like Black Mirror or I don't know if you guys remember 22 Jump Street as Zook.
His Black Mirror episode was crazy.
So the video game.
Yeah.
I tried to show my father-in-law that episode, and he was like, this is going to be boring. And all of a sudden the spider comes out of the wall with a face on it. And he was like, oh shit. He's like 70. Good stuff. But no, it's definitely, we've got a lot of things coming up in 2022, rest of this year, 2023. And speaking of things coming in 2023, now we're actually going to roll into the next big group of comic book centered releases, DC releases.
So what came out last year?
Two things. The
Suicide Squad
and Peacemaker.
Well, the Justice League,
the Zack Snyder's Justice
League came out.
That's right. It's barely an anniversary, like a week ago, right? Like,
yeah.
Which I still have my qualms about.
I gotta tell you though, the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are fantastic.
Watch it.
I think that the Suicide Squad is fantastic. Well, I think the Suicide Squad was good. I am not enamored with anything that DC is putting out recently, other than the Batman. I really liked the Batman kind of brought me back in. I thought the Suicide Squad was good. I thought the Zack Snyder's Justice League was good. I hated the aspect ratio.
Yeah, for sure.
That was so fucking dumb.
For
my
sure.
biggest gripe, dude. And it was all black and white, right? I mean,
no, they did a black and white version of it.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was
that
all black
added more footage to it.
It was noir, black and white.
But DC is just falling flat, dude. I think the Flash movie's gonna fucking suck.
They keep pushing it for a reason.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna be good. Aquaman 2 could get fucked because I don't really care.
Well, he fucks fish, so
right.
Shut up, Barry.
Shut up, Barry.
I'm trying to even think like what else. Like the Shazam and Black Adam projects look cool. Like I am very excited for both of those.
Shazam was like a sleeper hit. I loved that movie. The
first Shazam. Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. That got pushed up this year to this year.
So I'm
where
curious
the fuck is Green Lantern?
All these fit together now. Like the DCEU is kind of, when they say extended, they fucking mean it, because I don't know where these things connect. They're cousins of another uncle twice removed. Like, who knows? It might be the same actor playing the same character, but that doesn't mean.
Or people are saying that the Flash got pushed back because they're gonna want to like shoot in some Robert Pattinson stuff, and I'm like, don't do that.
What?
Yeah.
Literally, don't do that. What? The whole damn theme of the movie universes are completely different between those two movies.
Yeah,
that Flash movie is very much in the vein of the Zack Snyder universe. This Rob Pattinson Batman movie, just keep it by itself. I don't want any other superhero shit in it. Literally, just give me Batman's Rogue Gallery for the next 5 movies. Do Quarter Owls, do some TV shows with just that universe, and leave it be. And I know that's what Matt Reeves wants. Matt Reeves is like, I don't want Superman in that shit. I don't want that. Like, I completely agree.
Somebody threw it out there today. They wanted Mr. Freeze to be played by Michael Fassbender. Upcoming the Batman.
Yes. Make Michael Fassbender.
A bald Michael Fassbender with that jawline.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston would be so good. Fuck, he would be so good.
Walter White.
He's like Walter White. Yeah. Oh my god.
I am become death. That would be great, actually.
I'm the one that knocks.
But no, so like
I never watched Breaking Bad, and I didn't get that joke for that thing for a long time, and then I finally watched it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That clip is incredible where he's talking to Skylar, and he's like, you've got this backwards.
So DC is in flames at the moment, right? We obviously saw that with the little baby releases they had last year. 2022 is supposed to be their big kickoff. The Batman, good job. And then the rest of it just getting kicked in the shins right over to 2023. So
they had that sweet trailer that was like the year of superheroes that came out, and then the day Batman came out, they pushed everything to 2023.
Which was a week after that trailer came out. It wasn't even like it wasn't even like mid-year. It was like a week later. Like, well, sorry.
And then it still ran this year. Like during the openings of Batman, it still runs. Like, no, it's not. I imagine being like the low-level person to put that footage together, and you're like, fuck yeah, man, they're gonna run this for like 6 months. It's gonna be all over the place. And a week later, they're like, nah, just kidding. They're like, fuck, are you serious right now?
But I do have
to use it again next year. They just changed it 2 to 3.
Change the. I do have hope that because they came out and said that they want to focus on quality versus the connectivity between the movies, and I'm for that. I think that's great. I don't trust Warner Brothers to do it.
I don't. Yeah. No. I really don't. Just stop trying to connect everything to the Robert Pattinson Batman movie now. Please, just leave it by itself.
Well, and when it comes to connecting things, they haven't done the work.
No.
They're trying
Marvel
to jump
took
in the middle.
like 15 years to build that universe up.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of what has already happened in the comic books during the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? Like, we've talked about the different characters that are basically the same person, right? With Deathstroke and Deadpool and that kind of stuff. Now they're just doing it with storylines. This multiverse is connected. Whoa, Bill, we should probably go try to figure that out. Yeah, Ted. Like, it's just
there are too many DC superheroes. There are too many DC superheroes for them to do that shit. And that's the thing. Like, with Marvel stuff, they've done a very good job of paring back the amount of characters that are in that universe to do that. So like Civil War, take Civil War for an example. I mean, the Civil War comic book was like fucking everybody. It was the X-Men, it was the Avengers, it was like literally everybody that was involved with it. And they were able to successfully kind of pare it down to, yeah, it's Cap versus Iron Man. And you have some of that there, but like they can't do Crisis on Infinite Earth in a movie form, like straight out the gate. They can't do Final Crisis. They can't do I would love for them to fucking build to Emerald Twilight. That would be awesome. I mean, and they can, because that's just the Green Lantern story. But
yeah,
for some reason they hate Green Lantern,
especially a black one. He looked awesome.
He looked great too.
He looked fucking awesome.
And it sucks. And it sucks because we knew that Green Lantern was going to show up. Because the three of us, when the original Justice League trailers came out, were seeing the green in fucking Alfred's eyes. Yeah. And then the green fucking thing next to the ship. And we're like, yeah, Green Lantern's in this movie. Come to find out fucking 12 years later. Yeah, Green Lantern was supposed to be in that movie.
Got snip. I'm just glad it wasn't
Superman with a.
Yeah. I remember all the fan art. Army Hammer as Green Lantern. I'm like, no, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Everybody wanted Chris Pine as Green Lantern too, and I'm like, meh.
He's already in it with Wonder Woman.
That movie was. I can't believe how far that went. You have the original Wonder Woman, which is the apex of movies.
Yeah, it was
Wonder Woman 1984,
DCEU
which
movie.
was fucking just boring.
You mean the movie where she has sex with the body of a man who has not given his consent? Mm-hmm. That movie?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You mean the movie that was called 1984 that was just as bad as any movie from 1984? Yeah. Just
the two saving graces of that movie were Kristen Wiig as Cheetah
and Pedro Pascal
as Maxwell Lord.
Oh, hey, listen though. 1984 was a good year for movies. We got Gremlins, Ghostbusters, The Karate Kid, Footloose, Red Dawn, The Terminator.
I should have put B or D level movies.
But Ernie brought up similar storylines, and Don brought up Civil War. Kevin Feige wasn't going to do a Civil War movie until they announced Batman v Superman. And then he was like, well,
yeah, guess what we could do?
Maybe we will do it.
God.
Who's excited for Morbius? I'm just kidding. Let's move on.
Nobody, man. Nobody.
That movie is going to be so fucking stupid.
It's a shame because Morbius was one of the comics I collected when I was a kid.
I know you said, like, you talk consistently that you love Morbius, and I'm like, that's really great. That movie is not going to be good, which is unfortunate.
I think I had the first few issues, and then it started going into the Midnight Suns storyline with Ghost Rider, and I was all in. It was so good when I was a kid. So
not Pedro Pascal. Oscar Isaac says he wants to do Midnight Suns after Moon Knight.
Well, I mean, you got Blade potentially being there, right? You've got
Dane Whitman.
Yes. Dane Whitman, yeah.
The Black Knight. You've got Werewolf.
And somebody brought up that, I think it might have been New Rockstars or whatever, but Moon Knight's in London. Dane Whitman's in London.
It's very possible that we're going to see Dane Whitman and Blade in the show. It's very possible that we'll see them. I would love to see Mahershala Ali in the full fucking black get up with the
sunglasses from the 90s.
Sunglasses, dude. I fucking can't wait.
Yeah, I definitely want that. And then it always reminds me of the joke: why are there no vampires in Africa? Because they bless the rains
down in Africa.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Speaking of bad jokes, on to the next one. The year of scumbaggery. Bobby Kotick, and Joss fucking Whedon. Those were definitely our biggest, like, Debbie Downer subjects that, well, one took way longer than the other one to kind of
We spent 12 fucking episodes talking about Bobby Kotick.
Yeah. His shriveled dick took up way too much content on our show. And unfortunately, I don't see him going anywhere, at least for the next calendar year, until transitions are done with Microsoft. Xbox. That sucks, man. I mean, those two were just the worst. Again, what can you do? You could try to push aside the artist and the art, as we always say. There's some fun stuff that might be great with World of Warcraft, but to just give money still while that guy's still in power, it feels. It's what do the kids say these days? That's my ick.
Yeah,
that's my ick.
Do they say that? What the fuck does that even mean?
It's like makes you feel sick. It's my ick.
It's like cringe.
It's not fun in World of Warcraft that they're still doing the world's first race right now. And I think it's the second reset that's happened.
Yeah,
is it because the volume so low, or just like
no, they're stuck at fucking jailer.
Well, and I don't know if you've been following it, but they held the last 3 bosses. Like they didn't put them on the PTR. They didn't put them out until I think Mythic came out.
Yeah,
or until the raid came out, so they couldn't test them. They figure out the strats. When it comes to Bobby Kotick, thank God for our Lord and Savior, Greg Miller.
Yeah, dude,
for having the balls stand up in front of the entire industry and tell that guy to go fuck himself.
Yeah. Yeah, our tiny voices will be heard one day, but thanks to him for doing it for the rest of us. But yeah, same thing with Whedon. Obviously his travesty has been trickling across the Twitter sphere and every article that will potentially say it. I think it was a Business Insider article that really just shed the light on him. Just poo-pooed.
It was an interview.
Yeah. he couldn't even just fake being a nice person.
Not for one interview.
He's just himself. Be true to yourself. Yeah, fuck that. Don't. Not if you're you.
Yeah.
But I do want to bring up our I don't want to give them any more time. The next is the people that deserve more time. Our special guest is here. So we've had a bunch.
Yeah, we've had a good fair amount.
By any count, 20% of our episodes potentially have people on from something else. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not right. Maybe that's like 10%. But we had Sam Burson from Terran Podnito. We had Sean, Hey Sean, showing us his video game. We had Justin showing us his work. We had SoopurKul, who came on and schooled us on music and taught me that there's different kinds of music, not just kinds of music that you listen to, but music that you work to and dance to and think.
Music that listens to you.
Yes, it's puts it right back in you, and then of course we had our sponsor rep AJ on that one episode, just talking about the video gaming industry and how they're embracing the idea of not only just being great in the game but out of the game with fitness, which is why they're always a great sponsor. Makes sense if you think about it, folks. I might not be losing weight or gaining gains, but they're still a good sponsor for a reason. Our biggest episode was by far the SoopurKul episode, as far as stats and viewership.
That was such a fun episode.
That one episode caused us to have, and this is kind of going into the last topic, which is our stats, aka we suck, but we're getting better. We had a total of 68 plays on that one episode, and then plus a bunch of other random episodes just from like fall off from that. So it was definitely a pop we had. His content was great just because he was so knowledgeable and so polite and kind to come on the show and help us. And you, Mahaffey, to create the intro and outro that I still need to make a buffer for this new platform. But man, it was definitely nice to have new blood in the mix. I know Dom and I, we can carry on a conversation about anything for a while, but that third seat's always key. Mahaffey, that's why you're here. That's why we appreciate the show notes, and you in the chat. You are the third chair, whether you know it or not, or appreciate it or not. You're there. We appreciate you being there every single episode, even if it's a 20-second delay.
Right.
20 seconds is kind. It's like a 2-minute delay for some reason.
We slowly get to your comments and reply back, or at least like audibly acknowledge them. But yeah, it's definitely. I think it's useful that just get a different perspective, because when you just sit there and agree on something over and over, that becomes boring. But friction makes fire. So I like the fact that we can have those people coming in, and I hope we can get some more folks here in the future. I did throw out a message to Straw Hat Guy. I guess his name is Juju, based on his TikTok handle, but
Straw Hat Goofy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I got no reply.
He's my movie guy.
I have had. It's been really weird over the last 3 weeks. I've like just replied to like certain larger creators on TikTok and Twitter, and then like have gotten engaged with by those people, and I'm like, this is weird. Like,
why are people listening to me? Responding to me? Yeah, Twitter has made me think that I can just scream into the ether and like nothing happens.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'll get random things from like Paul Scheer that are liked, or like Yvette Nicole Brown.
And you're like, oh shit.
Oh damn, you actually read that. I was just kind of paying
attention.
Like oopsie poopsies. So that kind of stuff is always nice. And then the things that I think I've learned the most this year, is I definitely need to do a better job of stepping up our social media presence. I always kind of joke on here like, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that button. Don't remember to click the bell, like all that fun jazz. But if I don't actually do anything on those channels, what's the fucking point, right? Like, just because I want to see the number go up. And another thing we learned this year was like Twitch might not be the right place for us to do these shows, but because we've got such a high number of people on there, I'm throwing up these broadcasts up there just so people can see it and be involved and at least know we're still alive. But soon when we get back to streaming, I know Dom and Mahaffey, I don't want to spoil your update, but you both have officially beaten Elden Ring, at least one of the endings. Did you guys get that secret dragon boss where you had to like fall asleep on some ledge?
I fought it today.
No shit.
And did not beat it. But I only fought it once. And I completely switched up my build today. So I am still trying to learn it. So I fought it once. I got it to half health. And then it did like some stupid fucking teleport move and one-shot me. And I'm like, I love this game. Love it.
The minute I saw that on TikTok, I was like, hey, I got to see what this creature looks like.
It's Ghidorah. Yeah, it's Ghidorah from Godzilla. It's fucking sweet, dude. The scale of monsters in this is so cool. But yeah, we both beat it.
Huge.
I think that the plan is now that like we're kind of moving into the daylight hours are longer and hopefully things kind of settle down at work. I'd like to probably do New Game Plus on stream and just kind of go through it, do some build crafting. I also am like really itching to play like Horizon Forbidden West and Pokemon Legends of Arceus. So we might be doing that. I haven't made the final decision yet.
I'm all about it, man. And like I said, this season of Fortnite is
no building. I might actually play it.
There's no building. I can't build anyway. And even when I try to build, I'm like, let me make a ramp and I'll just go to the next level so I can run away from the guy who can build. Like that's my whole building ability, is to escape or flee. Now I don't have to do that. I can just throw grenades and escape and flee, like smoke bombs. Just run away. So I mean, I'm up for that to start streaming myself. I got the freaking devices. I can do it. I've got the technology. I just got to start getting up a little bit earlier before the kid wakes up and just start playing. But no, I'm excited for what's coming next in this coming year. We've talked about a couple of different other like little podcasts and shows. I want to just be more involved in not only the video game side of things. It's the first part of this name is Joystick for a reason, but also kind of looking in the comic book culture. Riddler Year One was just kind of a nice time with a movie we saw recently.
Yeah.
But I want to get back and to see where these storylines are going, the development of the characters, and really get back into the hype fest that is, comics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a series that just wrapped that I have a subscription to. I want to get through. It's The Death of Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that I read that they pick a new Sorcerer Supreme at the end. So I kind of want to get through those issues.
Is it Wong? No, I'm kidding.
I don't. Yeah, he's not a sorcerer in the comic books.
Yeah, he's not a comic book. But no, that's awesome. See, that's kind of stuff I want to get into and just touch base on. Okay, this story arc's coming to an end, or they're launching this new line, that kind of stuff. Just bringing that part into our little world here. And if you are a writer or a blogger or just have your own ideas on a show and you want to join our little family here, you don't have to be on this show. You can do your own. You're more than welcome to, but that door is always open. Why not try it? If it sucks, at least it'll suck with us. Misery loves company. But
well, shit, man. It's been a great year. I'm excited to keep doing it.
Hell yeah, man. We had nearly one episode listen of the podcast for every single day last year.
Nice.
And then for our YouTubes, that's up. I can't tell you how many impressions we've got from that. Thousands of impressions, just from the keywords and hashtags and topics we talk about. Same thing with Twitch, where we went from 0 to over 100 Twitch followers. So we're making progress.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Slowly and surely. And I'm just having a good time shooting the shit with you guys anyway. So I'll keep doing that week after week.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Well, hey, that's it. Episode 36. 1 year anniversary episode in the bag. I'm Ernie Hawkins. He's Dom Ervin. He's Mike Mahaffey. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. You know what to do. Booyah.
Booyah, Kacha.